Afternoon, everyone. My name is Detective Chief Inspector Billy Thompson. I'm the officer in charge of Northern District Criminal Investigation Branch. Now, as the matter we're about to discuss today is currently before the court, I'm limited into the detail that I can go into, but I can give you the background as to how the incident unfolded last night. So at about 8:15 p.m. On Friday night, police received a 000 call from a very distressed female. She told officers that she didn't know where she was, but she was being assaulted and chased by a man known to her. Police commenced immediate inquiries to try and locate where the lady was, and a short time later she was located at the On the Run service station on Salisbury Highway, which is just off Salisbury Highway, and you can access that via Vatter Street when you're coming from Port Wakefield Road. The female was able to tell us that she had been the victim of an assault. She'd been placed in the boot of a vehicle and held against her will, and that she had managed to escape, and whilst doing so, the male person who was known to her allegedly fired a number of shots from a firearm in her direction. She's since told us that she's also been the victim of a sexual assault, and we understand that that sexual assault occurred earlier at a location in the southern suburbs. A 37-year-old man has been arrested, and he has been charged with rape and unlawful detention, and he's expected to appear in court on Monday at Elizabeth Magistrates Court. Today we've come back to the area to conduct a search with Water Ops and with SES, and we thank them for their assistance to try and locate the missing firearm, which wasn't recovered when the man was arrested. We're also particularly interested to hear from anyone who last night may have seen a red Ford Laser with the registration number S018AXM, and we'll provide a photograph of that vehicle to you shortly.
Why did he bring her here from the southern suburbs?
The man that's been charged is from the Craigmore suburb, so we would act on the belief that he was returning to the Craigmore area, potentially.
Have you found anything today at all?
No, we're still commencing our search.
What kind of firearm do you believe he used?
The firearm's been described as a handgun.
What relationship are they to each other, as husband, boyfriend?
We do not believe that the couple are in a domestic relationship, but they have been known to each other. But we're still looking at the dynamics of what their actual relationship has been in recent times.
So like dating or something to that effect?
Yes, we think so.
Had he stopped here, or did she get out, escape from a moving vehicle?
We think that she's been using her best endeavours to escape from the car, and as a result of that, he potentially has pulled in, and then she's sought an opportunity to escape, which she's done.
How old is she, and where's she from?
She's in her 30s.
In her 30s, and is she from the north?
She's from the southern suburbs.
How long was she chased for, do you think, through the wetlands?
It's difficult for us to say. We did locate her reasonably quickly after the initial call. But she was quite disorientated from what she's told us. She saw the lights of the service station area and sort of sought that out as a place of safety.
Did she use her own phone or the servo's phone?
She initially called us from her own personal telephone.
Was she kidnapped initially, then sexually assaulted? Is that the timeline?
We're still working through that, and as I say, the matter's before the court, so I can't go into the details of the sequence of events, but we're working through the exact nature of how things occurred and in what order.
What do you believe his intentions were with her? Why was he taking her to the northern suburbs?
Again, that's something that we'll have to work through as part of the investigation.
What were her injuries like?
She was taken to hospital and she was treated. She wasn't admitted, so she's been released with minor injuries consistent with being assaulted.
Can you tell us what led up to this? Were they meeting up for a date and then things turned, or how did this come about?
Again, what we do know is that the couple were known to each other. The exact nature of their relationship's unclear at this time, but we're working through that with the victim.
Do you know whether they were, meeting up on Friday last night, kind of consensually for both, and things turned? Or?
As you can imagine, this was a very traumatic event for the victim, so we've got to work through exactly what happened, and it takes time to tease out all those facts and pieces of information about how things actually occurred. So we're working through that.
So you're still, waiting to speak
We're
to her?
very much in the middle of the investigation, trying to piece together what has exactly occurred.
What's her state of mind like? Is she okay?
Well, naturally, she would have been very afraid last night. This is a horribly traumatic event for someone to go through. To be in the middle of nowhere, in the dark, not knowing where you are, trying to seek help would have been very frightening for her.
This is the second similar kidnapping, a woman being put in the boot of a car. Is there any sense that it could be related at all to the incident last week?
There's absolutely no connection between last night's event and the previous one that you're referring to. No, there's no connection.
Do you believe that he was shooting to kill her?
We don't know what his intent was. We do know that we've been told that 4 shots, or a number of shots were fired.
Was he under the influence of anything?
Again, we have to work through that with forensic procedures.
Can you
How
just
long will you be searching these wetlands today?
We want to complete a complete search. So really what we are searching is an area of about 1 kilometre in length, and then we're going to sort of go off to the sides of that sort of line of sight from where the car was found to where the person was arrested, which is just behind me. So we'll complete that today and see what evidence we find from that search.
and just tell us, this is obviously a terrible thing that's happened. How do you feel for the woman? And I mean, the man's actions are obviously appalling.
Look, any violent incidents like this are terrible, and it's just deplorable. And we feel for the victim, and we'll offer her all the support and assistance that we can provide her.